Here we are for today's Daily Chelsea, your one-stop shop for all things Chelsea related. My treats today are a porridge with some nuts and some honey, which is all going to be mixed together and form a delicious concoction. And I've also gone for some organic jasmine green tea. This is because I was out with the Hurricane Skillen last night and I'm feeling rather tender. And this is called Chi Tea and it's absolutely delicious, so I highly recommend it. I think the only place to start is and some news that was reported in The Sun and the Daily Star. So two big tabloids in Britain have reported that Juventus are going to come in with a £30 million bid to sign Oscar, and their intention is to get Oscar to replace Andrea Pirlo. £30 million is a lot of money. My dear friend Jack, who helps with this channel and is actually the brains behind this whole operation, is massively in favour of this move, which actually makes me question whether he has any brains at all, because I think that Oscar is fantastic and I would not for 1 second think that a bid of 30 million is worth selling. I think that he is magnificent on his day. I appreciate that his day doesn't come around too often, but when he does play well, he is unstoppable. And I think when you look at some of the goals that he scored last season, that goal against Queen's Park Rangers was incredible. Think back, cast your minds back to, I think it was his actually his first ever goal, and it's probably part of the reason that Juventus want to buy him. The goal that he scored against Juventus in the Champions League was absolutely incredible. I've never seen a goal like it, to be completely honest. I think to have the mind to even think about doing that, let alone pulling it off, it reminded me slightly of Dennis Bergkamp actually. To just even be able to think about knocking the ball into space, he kind of played a 1-2 with himself. And I think that when a player has the capacity to do that, you don't sell him. You certainly don't sell him to a team like Juventus, who we could well come up against in the Champions League. And Oscar is, he's perfectly capable of knocking us out of the Champions League on his day. So I really don't think we should risk it. I think that he needs a pre-season, he needs a rest, and I think that this season could be his year. I think that he could, the way that Eden Hazard really took. He was galvanised this season, Hazard, he had a good season last year, but he wasn't as magnificent as he was this year. And I really think that Oscar could do a similar thing. So I really hope that the Sun and the Star have got it wrong. Interesting news also from the Daily Express. It was also in the Metro, and there are two other tabloid papers. And the Metro, if you're not from England, is a free paper that they give out on the tube. They have suggested that Varane, good news, is ready to quit Real Madrid if he doesn't get assured first-team football. Now, yesterday we reported that Varane was very complimentary about Rafa Benitez. But if Benitez can't guarantee him first-team football, and if I look at that Real Madrid side, I'm not convinced that he can, Varane's off. The only snag here is I'm not convinced that Chelsea can guarantee him first-team football. But if Mourinho can make him that promise, if Mourinho sees Varane as coming in and playing alongside John Terry, with Kurt Zouma going to Sampdoria perhaps on loan, and Gary Cahill being the third-choice centre-half, then this Varane deal could well be alive. And I think you are very aware as to how positive I think this deal is. I think Raphael Varane is going to go on to captain France, and the dream would be to have the national partnership, the French national partnership, replicated at club level at Stamford Bridge. That would be a partnership for a decade, so that really would be fantastic. So fingers crossed we can make this happen. Mourinho has a good relationship with the boy. He's only 21 years old. So, you know, it would be a very, very good signing. Lastly, The Telegraph, which is a broadsheet newspaper here and seen as quite a serious newspaper, reports that Mourinho is considering getting a player from Arsenal in return for Petr Cech. I think it was a very tongue-in-cheek comment from Mourinho, typical flippant stuff, where he has said that if Arsenal want to come in and try and take our keeper, we'll take one of theirs. So I think that the names being suggested are obviously Sanchez, but that's highly unlikely. But I think that there could be something around Theo Walcott, because we need English players, and Theo Walcott is an England international. We obviously ticks a box in our homegrown charts that we are struggling with slightly, so that could actually happen. This will be discussed more on Backpage Blues with Charlie Skillen. That will be out later today, so make sure that you tune in. There's just time, quickly, for one rubbish rumour of the day. An Italian journalist called Carlo Ludisa, he works for the Gazzetta dello Sporto. He tweeted that Real Madrid want to spend 100 million euros to sign Thibaut Courtois. This is obviously rubbish, but what was quite funny is that it gathered quite a lot of traction on social media, and in Italy, apparently it made the news. So it was actually quite a big deal that it was going to happen. But obviously, Obviously, Real aren't going to spend that sort of money. I mean, they do like to push the boat with their Galacticos in the past, but 100 million for a keeper who played for their fierce rivals is very unlikely. That's all we have time for, guys. I'm going to be on the comments, so this is going to go live any second now, and I will be there waiting for your comments. And I love the interaction with you, and I really, really appreciate your comments. So get them in, let me know what you think, and give me your thoughts. The big one, and the one that I'm worried about, is Oscar to Juventus. So please tell me what you think. Thanks for watching. Go on to Champions. It's around the world to shave. Wonderful work, John Terry. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Comment below. Remember, this is the place to have your Chelsea transfer related discussions.